All right, welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz, everybody. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard. William, let's bring in Michael Bogart. Hello, sir. How's it going? How are you today?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. What are we talking about this week?
Well, we've been talking about the Bible, you and me, over the past couple of weeks. Right. We talked about, can we trust, that we have the actual words of the original manuscripts, and we talked a little bit about translation and how you get a good Bible translation last week. I thought I would do something really basic. Now, a lot of your audience here, they'll know some of this stuff, but I find as I teach world religion and some other things at the college level, a lot of people don't know the difference between Old and New Testament.
Oh, that's easy. The Old Testament's scary.
It's true. There's battles in the Old Testament.
There's some stuff going on.
Bible, there's giants, there's floods, there's, all kinds of things. And of course, the New Testament is a little more, I guess you'd say, user-friendly in that sense. Yeah. But
scared straight.
And of course, Christians see it that way. Christians see the Old Testament as the law, it's the rule of law, it's God establishing order out of chaos, and the New Testament is God fulfilling what his purpose was all along.
Is the Old Testament going to happen all over again? I mean, things are kind of up in arms at this point.
Well, come to the end of the New Testament, you got the book of Revelation.
I know.
And some people are saying that we're beginning to see some of that, which nobody really knows for sure.
Right. What would people say that we're seeing now from Revelations?
They would see the increase in violence, the riots.
The wars in the East?
The Middle East. Syria basically doesn't exist as a functioning country anymore. Mm-hmm. So they're talking about that. You see Israel under threat, which has been, that way for a while. But especially the Arab Spring and the violence that kind of followed along that. A lot of, I guess you'd say, prophecy buffs are watching that. And at least in some people's opinion, it's the beginnings of that.
There's some things that are happening in America that you could probably say are from Revelations.
Well, certainly
the attacks happening, the fight, right?
Right. I mean, the terrorist attacks, 9/11, but there have been a number of attacks since then, plus all of the riots that we've seen in Baltimore, Madison, Wisconsin, Ferguson, some of those things. Some people see those as just part of the signs of the times.
How do you see them, Mike?
I'm beginning to wonder because you're about as old as I am. I think maybe I'm a little older.
I'd like to think you're quite a bit older. I like that.
But back in the 70s, when I first became a serious adult follower of Jesus, a lot of people were reading that book, the late great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey, and people were talking about the end times back then, and of course none of that really happened then. So I've been kind of skeptical about seeing Revelation in current events ever since then, but things are coming, they're so serious now, Chuck. Mm-hmm.
Well, people are also falling away from the church, aren't they?
Absolutely. So, and that's true. That's another one of the signs. Thank you for reminding me that there's supposed to be a cooling off or an apostasy or a falling away, which at least in the West we're seeing. Now, you're not seeing it in sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, or Asia. You're seeing a multiplying, almost a mushrooming of Christianity in those areas.
Asia?
Certain parts of Asia. For example, the Chinese house church. That I can't say much about it because I don't want to endanger people, but there's quite an amazing movement. Probably the greatest growth in world history of Christianity has happened between 1950 and now in China.
No kidding.
Absolutely. But it's all been very much underground kind of a thing. Yeah, and of course, South Korea is the poster child of evangelical Christianity. It is probably the most Christian nation on earth.
No kidding.
South Korea.
Wow.
Brazil is catching up rapidly in terms of that.
Lots of people in all those countries.
Yes, indeed. In fact, some of those countries are actually beginning to send missionaries to the United States.
Is that what they're calling them?
Well, something like that, yeah. Something like that, yeah, absolutely. So, it's true that there's been a kind of a falling away here in North America and Europe, but in other parts of the world it's been rapid growth.
Right.
But again, some people are seeing all this through the lens of the book of Revelation. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't know what to think at this point, but I'm keeping a close eye on it.
So you brought the 45-minute Bible with you today, the DVD.
Right, and so normally I talk about my book, but the DVD really is something for the general public. The book is as well, but the DVD it really is 45 minutes. If you don't have even an hour to devote to a subject like this, if you got 45 minutes, this book summarizes what's in the Bible in about 45 minutes. And as you know, Chuck, I always like to say, this is no substitute for the real thing. But if you want to kind of get a taste, this is a good introduction to it.
There's young people out there. We've talked about the millennials that are falling off quite rapidly. They're agnostic, atheist. Is this something you'd set your kid down with?
I think so. I mean, I think it's user-friendly enough. It's engaging enough. There's a lot of graphics, and it moves pretty fast. So I think it keeps people's attention, even that generation's attention. I like to think that my skills as somebody who's taught college for the last 25 years or so, it provides an engaging look at the Bible to where a person could say, well, I'll listen to this guy for 45 minutes. So I would like to think that a lot of people of that age would find that at least worth watching.
Do you show this in your college classes?
Absolutely, I
really?
do. I usually
and it's okay with the college. This is part of your curriculum.
The college has that in their library.
No kidding.
They put the closed captioning on it for me. So yeah,
awesome.
They did. So I mean, honestly, it's in their library.
So this is one, not your bestseller, but it's up there. How many of these have you sold?
I don't know, hundreds and hundreds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I get a check from Amazon every quarter for what I sell on that. And for that on Amazon, if it's a digital download, I get 20 cents.
All at once?
Well, each one I get 20 cents. So the check means there's a lot of those 20-cent things that I get.
Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Understanding Islam, is that your best-selling DVD?
It probably is, yes.
And book?
Yes, probably so. Because, I mean, Islam's in the news every single day. People always want to know about that.
They just Google it, and it's somewhere along the line, your books and DVDs will show up.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's on page, if you went on Amazon and searched for Understanding Islam, it comes up on page 6, and I still make money.
Really?
I still make money.
Understanding Islam comes up at page number 6. So there's that many things out there for people trying to teach people what Islam is all about.
But I think what makes mine different is most of what you find on Amazon is either so pro-Islam or so anti-Islam. Mine really is pretty fact-based.
Wow. And they go to 21st Century Faith or AspectMinistries.com.
AspectMinistries.com, product tab, it's all there.
Awesome. This is Michael Bogart. He's here with me every Wednesday. 45-minute Bible right here. A good way to get into the Bible before you start reading it.
Absolutely.
If you don't have a year to read it, you have 45 minutes to listen to it right here. Mike, always good to have you. Thanks
Chuck.
for coming.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stick around.